I'm sitting in class during my break time, probably eating like snacks, drinking Milo or something. And then this guy in my class comes up to me and asks, "Do you like any girl in our school?" I don't know why, but then maybe I was like idiot that time. I was like that shy introverted kid, you know. I answered it honestly. I don't know why, but I just told him like, "Oh yeah, like that girl she's kind of cute, you know, like kind of attractive." But then of course at that point, this was 2019, you know, like my secondary 3. I was 15 at that time. I didn't think much of it. I didn't have any like sexual thoughts or anything. It's just like I just thought that girl was cute. Like 5 minutes later, she walked past the class. You know me, I'm just like sat there like staring, side eyeing her. He goes to like call out her name, like hey, and then her name. Barry has a crush on you. And then I'm sat there like yep. Like I remember me being so awkward with my body, and like I didn't even know how to react when like a situation like that happens. I don't know if you can relate, but maybe your situation is not so extreme where like someone calls you out for having a crush for another girl in your school, but I believe that it's normal for guys, especially younger guys, to have like a crush on a girl in their school, but they never ever spoke about it. And like that girl, she was in my mind pretty often, you know, throughout like the whole secondary school. Like I've never ever spoken about this. Like genuinely I have never ever spoken about this, but I was somewhat obsessed with her. But I have never ever spoken to her ever. Every time I hop on YouTube, like as a young guy, you know, trying to get some dopamine, I will always stumble across like these videos from, I don't know if you know them, like Teaching Men's Fashion, Alpha M, I think that's his name, and like Alex Costa, all these kind of self-improvement YouTubers. Their advice is so shit, like honestly. Their titles and their thumbnails are just so clickbaity. You click and then you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get some value, like I'm gonna overcome being obsessed with girls finally. But all they do is just like, after they tell you the first intro, is just to like, fold out your sleeve or something. Make sure you wear a belt or something. And then that's like the first step. And then they follow it up by a 5-minute, or maybe not 5 minute, but like a 2-minute sponsor video from like Dollar Shave Club or something. I used to consume this kind of thing, thinking like I was like making progress, you know, because I'm consuming content that is going to help me actually get over this issue that I'm having. But it didn't, like it never did. My life was still the same, and there was no change other than like the views that I'm getting them. So in this video, if you're like relating to my story just now and you're somewhat similar to my younger self, you probably get some value in this video, because this is what I did in order for me to overcome that situation. And now I would say I'm a pretty confident guy. I managed to attract my current girl, and then now we're having like a pretty loving, polarized relationship. The first thing I did was that I understand about the masculine and feminine nature. Everyone, be it like male or female, both have a masculine and feminine essence. In case you're wondering what that means, the masculine is like like to call it the stillness, the stoic guy that is not emotional, is more like rational. Like they like to refer the masculine as I think, because they're like rational. Whereas the feminine is like the completely opposite. They are changing. They're emotional, I feel. So with that in mind, I took notice, and then I realized like I was actually more in the I feel kind of category. So that means I was more feminine than masculine. And I realized that in order for polarity, which means like one identity is feminine and the other one is masculine, if you want to attract girls that are your type, which is probably feminine girls, you need to become more masculine. Like there's no other way about it. You have to become more masculine. And how do you become more masculine? The best practical advice that I can give you is to set goals. The moment you set goals, you stop obsessing over like girls. Because, okay, think of it. The feminine obsesses about the guy that obsesses about goals. And you don't want to be the guy that is obsessing over the girl while she's obsessing over another guy, you know? And that guy that she's obsessing over is probably a guy that is goals driven and has something going on in their lives. So you have to set a goal. The best thing that I did was I set a goal on improving my physical looks, because I believe that the fastest way for you to like attract that goal that you want to attract is by changing your physical appearance. If you were to change everything internal, but it doesn't reflect on the outside, most likely they wouldn't even notice it at the first place. Right now, she's not even thinking about you, you know. You're probably somewhat irrelevant to her. So by changing the way that you look, and I would say the best way is to build a V taper body and a static physique. That is how you get like the attention from girls, no matter how young you are. Like even if you're like 13, 14, the moment you hit like puberty is when your testosterone and everything, your hormones start to increase. So that's where you can build muscle mass, and the best way to build muscle mass is to build that V taper physique, since you want attraction and love from girls, you know. So your actionable step is for you to just take out a piece of paper, write down like the goals that you want. So it could be like you want to become more confident, you want to build that body. Right now, just write down and then start to obsess over it. Like find ways to like get to that goal. And for young guys, again, best advice is to just write down something physical. So improve how you look, clear up your acne, decrease your body fat, lose some weight, gain more muscle. Just write it down and then obsess over it. The moment you start doing that, you realize that the goals are just like an addition to your life rather than your life. And that's very powerful, you know. If you want more personal help regarding like topics like this, you can DM me on my IG, link in the description below. Don't worry, I don't sell you anything. I hope this helps you.